Hello and welcome to episode 3 of BCUSU's Come Dine With Me. Our 3 intrepid contestants will be travelling to the top of the city to visit Leanne and trial her best culinary delights. Let's find out a little bit more about Leanne, shall we?
I ran for the role because I was based over in Gloucester Green, which is a bio campus, and basically I just didn't feel like we had enough interaction with the union. I started up Your Bio Society, which was a platform for all the bio campuses to get together and build a relationship, because I feel like there was a lot of potential for people in the artistic courses to come together. Also, yeah, just to have a good time and for nights out. And yeah, there's a lot of things that we'll be doing with Your Bio Society next year.
Sounds like fun, although your stuffed mushroom starter may not be to everyone's tastes.
Again, I don't like mushrooms.
Yes, Niall, we know.
So the starter could be an interesting experience for me. I'll still eat it. I like mushroom soup, but mushroom as a vegetable as a whole isn't my cup of tea, but it depends what it's stuffed with.
Indeed. Her main course will be a roasted chicken served with all the trimmings and a multitude of sauces.
Which is really exciting. Hopefully she'll put some bread sauce in, maybe some cranberry sauce.
Sure is delighted, as long as it's cooked properly. I don't want to be spending my first couple of months in office on top of a toilet.
I'm sure you won't be. Leanne's dessert will be a homemade trifle mess.
Awesome! I remember on my birthday parties when I was a kid having trifle pudding, so looking forward to that.
Leanne peels and washes her mushrooms, fries her elusive bacon, tops with cheese, and pops in the oven to melt. Ready to serve her wonderfully edited guests stuffed mushrooms with bacon and melted cheese.
Sorry, Case, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant.
Bon appetit.
What is it? Bacon and cheese is a winning combination for me.
That's pretty
Also with me.
Yeah.
I have to admit before we eat this,
Oh, here it comes.
biggest mushroom fan.
You are that person that just says that before they eat everything.
No,
Nothing.
just, okay, sorry. There's two things I don't like. Raw cheese, tomatoes. Okay, there's three things. Raw cheese, tomatoes, and ghost cheese. That happens to you.
And also mushrooms.
Raw cheese, tomatoes, and mushrooms.
Raw cheese.
It's a bit strange cheese, isn't it? So it's a bit like
So Leanne, whereabouts are you from?
Banbury, so in Oxfordshire.
Oxford, huh?
Oxford?
Yes, I'm really, really posh. I'm joking, I'm really not.
Oh, Oxford? Oh, I must sit up straight now.
That's what everyone says. Like, oh, I'm from Oxford. That's supposed to be really, really posh. No, not at all.
Where about you from, Joe?
Town in Gloucestershire.
What's the town?
Stride.
Hey.
The biggest single thing that made me love Birmingham was when I first got into my first club in Freshers Week. And I saw how big Pride was. The population of
Yeah.
the club was probably bigger than the town I live in, so it was just like, what? This is amazing.
What is this?
Since that moment, I think that's my one best moment at BCU, and
Yeah.
I fell in love with the city since then.
I remember going to my first year,
Thanks,
going
Leanne.
to Gatecrasher,
Yeah.
and just being confused. I thought it was in the Magaluf and Ibiza. The massive size of it. Like.
All the clubs in Birmingham are so big.
Yeah. Where are you from, Kitty?
I'm from Herefordshire, which is near Wales.
Is it Narnia?
No, it's not Narnia. It's similar to Narnia.
Okay.
It's in the middle of nowhere, basically.
How did Narnia come into the equation? Anyway, Leanne serves her giant portions of her roasted chicken dinner, served with all the trimmings.
Right.
If you could be in any
Oh my
movie,
God.
like a movie that you'd want to be in, like you don't have to be a particular character, what would your movie be?
In any movie? I wanted it all.
So like your favourite movie and you just want to be a part of it, to say like, I was in that movie.
My favourite movie ever is Step Brothers.
Yeah, same.
Ever. And people get annoyed by that because you got like the classic film, you have the classic shots and like the amazing set, but that movie really puts a smile on my face. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for set wise, as a selfish point of view, I just want to go to a film set where you go travel all over the world.
Yeah. What would you go for?
So Fast and the Furious, was it 6 or 5? They went all over the world, and I was like, I'd love to go to Brazil, the UK.
Wasn't 6 in England?
I don't know.
Because that's not particularly interesting. Like, oh, I want to travel the world and go to London.
So Leanne, do you not have a dinner table?
Yeah. I do. I just have 2 chairs.
2 chairs?
2 chairs? Yeah, and
Who's the other one for?
Leanne swiftly plates and serves her dessert, homemade trifle mess, with an emphasis on mess.
Hey guys.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh wow, that looks really good.
It looks really- You like it?
That was really nice. Sorry, I'll stop looking at it.
It was just like the most unconvincing, like, that's really nice.
And now a message from your president.
And I was moving in tomorrow. The one thing I do differently is when I first move into halls, when I first drop my bags off, I go straight to the pub. I spent a few hours sitting in my room, kind of watching telly. That's such a waste of time. I should have gone straight out to the pub or the common room. And I should have met people straight away. I think if I could do it all again, I'd do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I did exactly the same thing, but I was just so nervous. And it's not like, it's weird, but it's not like nerves I've ever felt before in my life, where you just think like, this is it. Like, your mum and dad have just gone, and literally wave them off, and you have to be really brave, and everyone's really upset, and you're just like, no, it's going to be really fun, and you really kind of believe it. But then the second you're on your own, you think, oh my God, I'm so on my own. And I went and sat in my room for like 20 minutes and just sat and just thought, oh my God. And then this person came down the corridor and knocked on my door, and was like, do you want to come to the kitchen? I was like, yes.
I was like kind of like your expectations kind of person. I spent as soon as my parents left, I went round the whole house, knocked on everyone's doors. Went to the pub, went and got those and to know those people. So, as a personal experience, it is like so good just going to get to know everybody and just building those like a friendship group.
It's so frightening though.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It's absolutely terrifying.
I was kind of like I was one in a million the fact that I went and spoke to my friends, but it is just kind of like it will come even if within your first week if you don't meet people. It always will come. You always meet people in your course.
I think you're all in the same boat. So.
Would you recommend going to the welcome party on the Saturday and Sunday nights?
So much fun.
Great time. Come to as many freshers events as you can. Get to know BCU students, and no matter what you say, there's always someone like you that has the same hobbies and interests, and enjoys the same kind of movies and films as you. And you know, everybody at BCU is so nice and welcoming. It's also
definitely.
Good. Something good to the last drop. Drinking alone to the last drop. A cooler full of organs, good to the last drop. 1,000 Slim Jims, good to the last drop. I would say drinking alone, good to the last drop.
Lifetime presents blank, the story of blank. Lifetime presents all you can eat shrimp for $4.99. The story of poor people. The Trial of Tears. So, right, Lifetime presents The Trial of Tears. The story of dental dams. Lifetime presents Spring Break, the story of fiery booze.
Bowel movements out of the way, it's time for the scores.
I had a really, really lovely night. She made a real effort to make us feel happy and content, and the food was really lovely, but the main was really exceptional. So all things considered, I'm going to give her an 8. That was half because of the really lovely night, and half because of her lovely little hamster.
I had a pretty good night tonight. The food was a little bit late, but I always love a roast dinner. So I'm going to give Leanne a big fat 9.
Do you know what? I really liked Leanne's night. It's quite a nice apartment at the top of the city. I wasn't that impressed with the starter either. I'm not the biggest fan of mushrooms, which is probably unfortunate. I felt like she didn't really put enough effort into it. I'm going to give Leanne a 6.
Which means that Leanne has scored a fabulous 23 out of 30, narrowly overtaking Joe to be in a chance for winning the show. Join us again for the next episode where Katie will be hosting, and remember, if you like the looks of any of the recipes in the series, they can be found on the BCUSU website.